But the Most High was letting you know that you were supposed to walk in your portal of abundance a long time ago. So if you're not, manifesting and processing money, there's a problem there, because the Most High called you to do certain things so that you can receive, your abundance as well. So, this was, and I was saying this in December, of last year, 2025. I'm not sure if you guys were on, the live, when I was telling you guys that, before 2026 and before January hit, there was a portal that we were going into, and you needed to activate that thing. Okay, and if a lot of you guys missed it, you guys, need to go back and figure out what portal was you supposed to hop in, so that you could start creating some revenue, so that when the Most High asks you to separate and disconnect, you feel me, you will have, that leeway to do that. Okay, remember, he's an on-time God. He do things in decency and order. He do tell you to do things for something that's coming up. You don't know it was coming up. That's why you gotta obey, because you don't know what this is for. You thinking, oh, I don't need that right now, or I'm good. But then you like, when it comes, you like, oh, this is the reason why he told me to do that, because of this. Yeah, that's why you gotta go, or let him order your steps. Or our steps are ordered by the Lord, and he don't tell us everything. He tell us things that we need to do right now for the future, and the future may be tomorrow. The future is everything that's forward. It could be in the next hour. It could be in the next second. That's your future. So you can't miss when he's telling you to do something, because you don't know what's happening next. And a lot of you guys is like in a pickle right now, because you guys miss, a little that portal. And because it wasn't making sense at that time. But now it's starting to make sense. You're like, oh, see, now I can't actually move how you want me to move, because I didn't jump in that portal. That's I did this too. I did this so many times. That's why I'm here. I can talk about it, because I missed all type of portals. The Most High told me, and then when I did hop in the portal, I did something that I wasn't supposed to do. I used things for other things when I wasn't supposed to even use it for that. I was supposed to use it for what's to come. So we gotta be careful. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause when he tell you, hey, this is for this, and when you can't move forward, it's something that you did. You didn't have self-control, or you might have been disobedient, and that's why you ain't, it ain't flowing. Like, when he's telling you to do stuff, you can't do it because, you missed a step. It's something from the back there you missed. So that's why I'm kind of like disciplined. When it come down to it, I'm a little bit disciplined, because, you don't want to be trapped, fall into these traps. The Most High, he's several steps ahead of this snake, right? But when we miss the steps that were ordered by the Lord, we might get trapped by a snake. You know what I'm saying? We like, oh, dang, I'm kind of in a pickle with this snake. You're like, hey, what did you do? Because I was ordering your steps like, like clockwork. What did you do? What did you mishandle something? That I have given you for something else? I can raise my hand. I did that so many times. I had thought it was like, oh, cool, thank you. Thank you, received. But I didn't know that it was for something, something that he was about to tell me to do. And I was like, oh, shoot, I had messed up again. And then here come a snake. You feel me? Here come a snake. We got to be careful. We got to really have discipline. We got to really buckle down, and start letting the Most High order our steps, because this is not good. These snakes will really start getting cocky when they feel as though you trapped. They'll start moving funny around you, and they'll really start trying to provoke you, because they feel like, you trapped. What you gonna do now? We don't know how long you gotta wait. That's why. That's another thing that I was, trying to constantly, rehearse in my mind, if you do get trapped, you don't know how long this trap season gonna be. You don't want to fall under a trap season where you gotta like figure out, how you gonna get out because, you didn't do what you were supposed to do, according to what was given to you. I know a lot of people, that are trapped in this trap season. They like, man, now I got like it was supposed to be like one more month. Now I gotta probably wait 3 more months, to actually continue this forward motion. Not being obedient. And that's where you get attacked too. Like when the Most High is ordering your steps, all this temptation start happening, and you're supposed to be vigilant. He tell you not to fall under, temptation. When you are receiving something, or when he's telling you to do something, stay vigilant. And that's the discipline that, you got to have. Because it's so easy. All this stuff start popping up in your head, and it takes you off of course. It that easy. I'm talking about like in a snap. You be like, oh my God, I did something so dumb again. And now I got to wait again. I got to wait like two months to redeem myself again. Because I mishandled that, or I didn't do right by that. By what I had. To open up this other portal. It's like a key that he gives you to open up to the other portal. But then when you mishandle that, definitely, they are definitely hacking your phones, your devices. Definitely. Definitely. So what I would do is, I know that's discipline too, what I'm about to tell you to do, but you said I can't even make no phone calls. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You need to turn off all your devices, right? And you need to pull it in, turn it off and put it in a cold environment. Like me last night, what I do now, at nighttime, I turn off all my devices and I put it in my cooler. Now I have an electrical cooler, right? Where I can put whatever temperature I want to put it, so it won't, freeze to death, but it needs to be in like some type of cold, cold environment. Because what they're doing is they're trying to aim all this frequency energy, at your device to where it overheats and it start glitching, and it could actually not stop working too. If they put too much, radiation and frequency and energy, at your phone, it can overheat and it can stop working. It can blank out. So you might want to, when you do throughout the day, you don't have to do it like all day, but throughout the day, you want to turn off your devices and you want to put it in the cooler. Don't put no ice in it. I'm talking about if you have an electrical cooler, the ones that it gets cold when you plug it into the wall. That one. If you don't have that one, go purchase you one, because you're going to need it anyway. It's about to be summer anyway, so you're going to need one of them little coolers. I got an electrical one. It's cute. I bought it on a long time ago on some type of site, because y'all know I like going camping and outside and stuff. So it's really cute, but you can control the temperature. You don't need no ice or nothing. You don't need no ice for this one. And I wouldn't advise you to put no ice in and put your phone or devices in there too. I mean, that's a little bit loony. I'm pretty sure you guys know about that. But this is something that will balance your phone. It will balance and it will protect it from frequency, energy, weapons that they're sending at your phone. They did that to me. They tried to do that to my device last night. My whole device got heated to where I had to drop it because it almost stung my hand. I was like, dang, why is this phone that hot? Out of nowhere. It was overheating out of nowhere. So what I did was, the Most High had explained to me, you might want to turn off your devices and change the temperatures and making it as, being the right temperature, for the cooler, and then put all your devices in there. You don't have to even close you don't even have to close the cooler. You can have it open. And you can do it for a good, like 20, like 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and now protect it. Because, You know, they really going in with this technology stuff. It's really, it's overrated at this time. It's like real overrated. Like, what are you doing? At this point, it's like, but we knew that though. We knew that they're gonna try to, they're gonna use this technology and all these devices, you know, for their good. We knew that. We knew that. That's why I wasn't really a big fan of, you know, the technology devices. I really wasn't. Like, back in, what was this? Back in 2020, I was using CD players and, I still have my tape player. I know some of you guys may think that, you know, I'm crazy, but no, I liked it, my old school devices. I'm serious. I liked it, my CD player. And when I can like burn CDs and I can put whatever I want on CDs, I liked it that. I liked it, my tape players. I did. I had a whole collection of tape players and CDs. I used to even have a business where people used to come to me and they used to ask me, can you burn the movies that I want on my CDs and music and stuff. I used to do that for them. I used to do that for them. I used to have me a whole pack. I used to have it was called LimeWire. I'm not sure if you guys remember LimeWire. It was a old school burner where you can like burn CDs and you could invert, you know, whatever you wanted to invert on the CDs, you can do that or whatever. And I used to have a whole little business. Sure did. Until they came out with all this, and then I was thinking in my head, I'm like, man, I know this is gonna be something behind this. When they start coming out with different iPhones, different iPods, and I knew it was something to this. I knew it was gonna be. He said, my first time to being here. Oh, well, welcome. We're glad you're here. It's a lot of enlightened messages that you may need to know that you never knew. Okay? But again, I knew that these devices was going to be the detriment of us. It was not going to be something that benefits us. It was all for monitoring. It was all for controlling. It was all for, trying to make people go crazy because they depend on this, and this is like your life. But like I said, I was a CD player person. I was a tape player person. I even had businesses according to my CDs. So where people wanted me, they paid me to invert and convert everything that they wanted on their CDs so they can go back and watch it. If it was movies, it was music, if it was sermons, if it was podcasts, whatever. And I'll tell them they got 15 options where I will put 15 options on there for them, and they can always go back to it, and they don't, it's not a hassle. It was doing good too until they came up with all this bull crap, and then people was like, oh, I don't need CDs. But now you understand that you wish you would have had them CDs, because look how they doing. Look how they playing you. You gotta, if something happened to this device, which they're making it happen purposely, so you can go buy another one that's about $1,000. And then, you can pay monthly. Who said I want to pay monthly for a device? I'm already paying monthly for the bill. When you had CD players, you didn't have to worry about, paying monthly. This is crazy. Yeah, now you can just download everything. But the thing is, with the downloading, it's like, it's not the same. You can go on, iTunes and all that, and you can download, things. But what if your device just click off? You ain't gonna have nothing on that you downloaded, your phone gone. So what is all the stuff that you downloaded? What can you go, how could you, you know what I'm saying? But with CDs, you can always, hey, I'm about to put it in my CD player. I'm about to put it in my little DVD and player. And then if something goes on with that CD, you could just put another. I could buy another CD. You could put that back on my other CDs. But I'm saying when it comes to these devices, if these devices go out, you're screwed, ma'am, sir. You're screwed. You're gonna have to wait until you go get another one. You buy another one. Buy a whole nother phone. It's that control that they have. They want that control. You know, it's a control that they fiending for, a supply. They want to see someone go crazy over their phone because that's what they have put the power in. Especially a lot of those who are giving power. Y'all see the sun? We go through this every single time. I got my I got my little whole cover up that I thought I was clear from the sun because I can't see when the sun, you know what I'm saying? And it came busting right out. Don't give a dang. And don't care. It will be in the mix. Let you know what's going on. I'm telling you, we go through this every live. Those who understand what I'm talking about. But yeah, you know, I was always like an old school type of person. You know, I like the old school stuff. I want to stick to that until they start discontinuing and making it not work. You know, they try to make the old stuff not work so you can start buying, you know, these new things that don't even work right. Can't even rely on them properly. You know, have us controlled. I can't stand this. It's just irritating. Then they got your kids on it as well. You know, got them hooked on it. You can't even like take it away. You take it away, you're going crazy. You like, hey, you better get it together. Come back to life. Because when we were young, we were outside. We were outside enjoying ourselves. You know, we wasn't really too much on these devices all day. We was outside. We found something to do outside, then we didn't come back until it was, you know, it was dark outside. I'm just trying to make it make sense. Like, I'm trying to stay clear away from these devices. Like I say, I put my devices up. At some amount of time throughout the day, I put it up. I mean, like I said, I have an electrical cooler. And I turn my devices off and I put it in like a cooler temperature. And then I put it in my cooler. And that's it. You know, I'm just meditating on the word. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the whole, you know, meditation, you know, mode. You know, clear away from that. Yeah, it is. And when you're in these buildings, you know, they can really do some work on you with this radiation. That's why you constantly getting headaches. You waking up with headaches. You know, sometimes it's hard for you to breathe. You sneezing everywhere because you're not getting the proper, you know, hydration. You know, like, you know, within the air. Because the air gives you, you know, oxygen, and you're hydrating yourself. You can't get that closed in the house all day. That's not even natural for us. That's not our natural habitat, being closed in, you know, in the house. That's why a lot of people are catching all these, you know, underlying, you know, diseases and illnesses. A lot of that has to do with your immune system. Your immune system is not getting the proper, you know, ventilation out that it needs out here. You know, that's why sometimes you guys' pets go crazy. Because I know that my dog been going crazy. My dog do not like being inside. Don't. We got to fight every day, you know. I got to literally fight her tooth and nail every day to get a balance. But she like, nah, I prefer to be out here. I do not like to be sitting, you know, up there because I be leaving, you know. You know, I'm doing most of my stuff out here. And she like, you're not about to leave me here. You know, you're not about to leave me here. I don't want to be in here. So she, you know, she started acting a fool. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to take you everywhere with me. I want to have a balance within me. I want you with me everywhere. I mean, I love her and everything. But dang, like, I'm probably gonna have to buy a bag for her. If I buy a bag for her that I could put her in, I'll take her. I'll take her with me. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Royal. But I even know that, in certain areas, they have your whole neighborhood wired up, attached to these poles, these radiation and frequency poles, towers that they got set up in your neighborhood. They have your whole area wired up to where it's easy for frequency and radiation could start coming in your home. That's why a lot of people catching cancer. There's so many people. Every time you go across, someone, they caught cancer. They in stage 1, stage 2 is because it's too much radiation. Coming through the walls, coming all up in your house. I know y'all can feel it, and I know y'all be hearing that zzz and all that in your walls up there. Come on now. They really doing that to targets. If you're a so-called target individual, they are. You could hear that in your walls. That radiation and that frequency that's coming through your walls. They're doing that. And the Most High letting you know you need to go outside. I'm sorry. You need to get it outside. The box is not working. It's not gonna work for you. It's not. You need to go get familiar with outside. They do it 24/7. That's why I don't be, within the home area. I don't like being in a box, y'all. Y'all know me. I like to travel. I have built me a tiny home, and this is what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, I had an apartment. I don't like it. I don't like being in a cage in like that. I knew that wasn't for me. Like me personally, I'm going to have to go and get some land, within like a field, and I'm gonna have to build me a cabin or something. Where, it's out, out in the nature areas and stuff like that. It will make me sick for real. Like being in the house, I cannot do it. My immune system will start acting up because I know what they're doing. They're actually wiring the place where they're constantly, trying to fry us with this radiation. It got it all through your walls. You guys, I know y'all can hear that. They turn it. It's like it's on a timer or something. It's like they got it timed where, they're doing this so that, you can get sick, so that you could get cancer. So that they can fry up all your intestines and your respiratory systems can fail, and you having all these conditions with your health. I'm telling you what they're doing. Most High already had told me about that. That's why I decided to get something that works for me, where I can be outside. Like in a way of you can, you have your home, but and then you gradually, building of what you want according to the nature, not in the city, not in, in the towns, because again, that's what they're doing to everybody. Not just you. A lot of your neighbors is going through it too. A lot of folks is not really attentive to it because they probably be working, about 12 hours out of the day. But I know they feel it when they get home. I know they feel that radiation. They wake up with headaches, they sneezing, they coughing, their immune system is going crazy. They can't really eat, because they eat it even affects your taste buds. Everything gets thrown off. Everything gets thrown off with this radiation, with this frequency that they constantly have. Even the Eiffel Towers that they set up in your hometown, they got all this stuff wired. I'm telling you, and through these devices, they really could keep it going through all these devices. And you know how many devices you have in your home? You got who knows, over 30. So they can bounce that off. They can bounce that connection off, especially the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth. Come on. They got too much. That's why the Most High say, man, you gonna have to get up out of this. Yeah, exactly. Yep. You got to get creative. You definitely got to get creative, and you understand that, you cannot be in your hometown, in your home city. It's not going to work for you. What they doing and what they set up with these towers, and they got to connect to your home. You ain't even got to see wires to understand how connected it is in your home. You can hear it. They got that thing on a timer. I'm telling you. You be like, what is that? And my wall just tick, 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 tick. These people crazy. And they want you to be immune to it. They want you to make it seem as if this is normal. This stuff ain't normal. There's a problem. But the Most High was like, you better get out here and in your habitat up here in nature. Make it work. I don't know. Make it be creative. Get creative, because I'm telling you, this is going to be the detriment of a lot of people. And a lot of people are just trying to be oblivious because they just they thinking like, this is what else? You know what I'm saying? So they just trying to put up with it. But that's why they falling under them health issues. Them folks is slow. You know what they doing to your phone when your phone overheat out of nowhere? That's really what you're going through. The same thing, your devices, when they be overheating and they be glitching and shutting down, this is what your system is doing as well. Because you're in that same frequency, of what they sending in that area and where you at. That's you going through this, you feeling the same effects. It just ain't hit you yet until you go to the doctor and you find out, what's actually taking place in your system. For years. I'm not waiting for years to stuff where I go and figure out some stuff is wrong with me because of, what has been taking place. It won't. They're going to constantly have, this is like their new wave. The new system. And like I said, if you got these boxes of, Wi-Fi up in your house and Bluetooth, they're running that. They can run that, the frequency and the radiation off of that as well, because that's a tower. That's connected to it. That could be connected to the tower as well. Oh, she said I gotta get up and get out here and go store. I've been planning. I'm already every year I do this. So I'm on the whole little system myself. You know what I'm saying? I got a system that, will work for me because I already know it. You're screwed if you go off of their system. You really are screwed. It's not good. I'm letting you know it's not. You have to follow the Most High lead when it comes down, to peace and joy, and having a life that you want. You got to follow the lead of the Most High. Whatever He's telling you to do, you need to do that. Right? However it feels weird or not, if He's telling you, hey, there's a portal that's opening for you, and you got to constantly show up every day. You got to put energy into that, and you got to do this, you got to do that. That's your way out, so that you can now get away from this, because it's going to get worse. They're going to turn it up. They're going to turn it up a couple notches. If they don't see the reaction or the effect that they want, they gonna turn that thing up. Remember, they have control over the cities and towns and stuff, so they can turn it up. And it's sick. For why would you even want to do that? Why you want to put people to that? But these are the parasites that I was telling y'all about. They need supply. These frequencies and what they do to these people, they get supply off of y'all. For all of us. Yes. This is how they getting supply off of you, through your energy. They can siphon your energy through this. In these homes. And they got everything hooked up and wired up to you. It's sick. It's twisted. That's why the Most High don't want nothing to do with them. Nothing to do with this. He always called us away, because He already knew what it was going to be about. He knew it. Exactly. That's why you really got to be creative. You know, he told you, you are a creator. Create, ma'am, sir. Keep creating your way through. You say, I'm about to put my stuff in this storage and walk. Hey, my stuff, I sold my stuff. The stuff that, and I knew that I was on the right track when I had, when I got out of my apartment, because I put my, that's when OfferUp was popular. And I started just going to OfferUp and, like, you know, getting rid of certain stuff that ain't go, it is not a purpose right now. You know what I'm saying? And everybody was lined up at my door. Everybody thought that I was throwing a party or something. Because I didn't expect that people would show up. I'm just like, okay, Lord, you said get rid of this, get rid. Because I had so much stuff. Like, literally, like, I had over almost, like I said, in my apartment, I had over almost $10,000 to $15,000 worth of stuff. Like, I'm talking about just stuff that I put in there to decorate and all that. I don't know what's wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? Stuff that was not, I shouldn't even did that. I shouldn't even did that. You feel me? Hold on, you guys. Hold on, let me put this up, because this sun is, man, I can't skip it. I cannot skip it. This sun is going bananas. Hold on, you guys. Okay. Whew. But yeah. Let me put this back up. Okay. Are we still on? I don't know if we still on or not. Are y'all still here? Because I think it froze. I need to know if it's still here. If it's still working. Are we good? Or did it freeze? Look like it froze though. I can't really see. I don't know if the live is still. Are we still here, or is it? Y'all gotta let me know if we still here or not, or did it go off? Okay, I think I seen somebody. Oh, did it just come back on? I think it just came back on, because it just literally stopped. Anyway, yeah. So it's just about you guys happen to figure out what the Most High is telling you at this time. I'm really not here to tell nobody what they should be doing, but I'm here to tell you what's going on with you, according to your home. You know, they already had connected all types of things up to your home, so they can do this frequency energy aimed at your each and every one of homes to cause sickness upon you. And it's like a slow effect. It's like a slow effect, but you don't even want no effect to even come at you. You want to get you want to get outside as much as possible. I would say. I wouldn't say stay hibernated, in a home, like in a building. Because even think about it, because even, certain jobs that's in the building. Everything's in a building. Like if you got to do 12 hours, 8 to 12 hours in a building, that ain't no difference if you stand the 8 to 12 hours in a building in your home. That's why all my jobs that I have is outside. Most of the things that I do, according to me, is outside. It's outside. It's not in there. It's not in the building. They always want you to be indoors in the building so they can siphon your energy. You're not doing that, ma'am, sir. I'm outside. I'm not about to be one of your supply experiments where you got all these souls planted in the buildings so that y'all can, y'all close them up so that y'all can siphon the energy with you parasites. That's not happening. I really need you to understand that. That's not what we came down here to be, a supply to parasites. Because they got to have you in the building. They got to have you in the building. Ma'am, sir.